Today, guys, as I welcome you back to Space Engineers, into our sweet buggy, I spent some time and kind of gathered a few more bits of iron and other things. But what we need to do is we actually need to go to this. There's an unknown signal source that came in just a few minutes ago. So we need to actually go on up there, see if we can drive our bad boy up there. We got 3 minutes to get up there. Because it may have some good stuff. We may have to actually fly. When it gets down to like 1 minute, we'll like fly the rest of the way. But until then, we're gonna see if we can drive this bad boy up there. Ooh. Alright, alright. Oh, I got airborne. Okay, so our goal today is to make a flying vessel. Okay, a vessel that is capable of flight, that I can use to explore, and just to have a plane, really. To have any kind of vehicle that can go airborne. It's a little bit of a rough patch that we're on right there, but we're gonna make it, alright? Man, you don't really see those divots till you're in them, do ya? Okay, we're getting closer. We're gonna have to fly a little bit, but I wanted to minimize the amount of just random jetpack flying we have to do to get to this thing. This rover's been really good to us. It's simple. It has no walls. It just has a base and a bunch of stuff on it. Has, I guess, what we'd call the bare minimum. I'm gonna park this bad boy right here. Okay, let's just go fly up there real quick. I think I have enough hydrogen to get us there and back. Of course, these signals just give us a few extra resources and potentially just like extra skins and stuff. All right, Guybrush. I will give you a quick overview of the game. Space Engineers, as some of you may or may not know, no special items, is a sandbox building and exploration game driven by the player's own creativity and desire to make stuff. Okay, Space Engineers gives you tools and a canvas to be able to paint whatever picture you want. That may be a weird way to describe what I'm talking about, but basically it's a game that is often played in a creative sense where you have unlimited resources, but you build massive spaceships and you build massive bases out of just resources that you can either just build for free because you're in creative mode trying to build cool stuff, or you can play in a survival setting like we are, going over the new survival mechanics and stuff that they've added in to then, oh, we're actually almost out of hydrogen, to then travel to and from this planet. You can travel like to that planet. You can travel just into space. You can't go to the sun. I mean, maybe. I doubt it. I've never tried, to be honest. But you make the game what you want. But I find it very, very enjoyable because I enjoy games that allow you the freedom to kind of do as you see fit. And I just realized I don't know where my car is. I don't have a freaking beacon on it, and so we may have to do a little bit of... Oh, I got hurt a little bit. Just realized that my phone is yelling at me. Nah. If you heard that, I'm sorry. Where did my car go? I thought it was just like right down here, right? I flew up there, so I don't even know what's going on. Pretty much Minecraft in space. Like it has a similar, you know, like when you build blocks, you build them in blocks, right? And you can change the shape of these blocks to be curved and stuff to give it the appearance of not being just blocks. But at the end of the day, you are building in a voxel world with boxes, right? I would call it adult Minecraft. If you really had to break it down, we have a problem. I really actually don't know where I left my car. I'm almost out of gas, too, so I can't just fly around. My hydrogen tank is actually empty. So this may actually be a very, very good start to the day. I thought it was just down this crevasse. It's probably down this crevasse. I just missed it. Anyway, welcome. Patrick, what's up, dude? Fecknetty, I caught up with your last Apex session today. Really entertaining, the best yet. Keep playing with those two guys. Dude, where's my car? Patrick, I'm looking for it, dude. I think it's right. That's it, right there. That's it. Just found it. I was just going down the wrong crevasse. All right, so we're actually... So what you guys may or may not know, if you're new to this, we built this. Each of these pieces I put on here, the spotlights, the armor blocks, the suspension, the battery, the cargo container, the thing that allows me to connect it to the base, the cockpit, we put all this on it, and we built it. Oh, I turned off the machine here, so I'm not able to control it here. And hopefully I don't flip it. We're gonna find out. So, how we started out, in case you don't know how we actually started out, was this thing over here on the thing that says respawn pod. I can't see. That respawn pod. Oh, please don't flip. Please don't flip. Is what we spawned in. We chose to land on an Earth-like planet. This is not a smooth area. I'm a little nervous. We're gonna take this a little bit careful. And we chose to drop into a drop pod. The drop pod had what's called a survival kit. Now, if you've been following this game over the last 6 years, the survival kit is a newer, we'll call it a block, but it's a new buildable item that does a lot of the basic functions. It has a basic refinery, it has a basic assembler, and can turn stone into other more usable... The crevasses blend in, you gotta really look for them. Usable resources that allow you to build more complex buildings and whatnot. Let me actually show you our base where we're at here, boys. For those who weren't here yesterday, this is our second day playing Space Engineers. The game just released out of early access last Thursday, so it's just been a few days. And because we're starting out, I didn't have any, flying vehicles, but actually our goal today is to take the knowledge that we have, the resources we have, increase our production speed, and then once we do that, to then build a flying vehicle. It's not going to be able to fly in space, but it will fly within the atmosphere, because there's different thrusters and stuff that you can use for different... Don't even worry about it. Just enjoy the nonsense. If you have any questions, feel free. I'm going to do my best to explain things in the simplest of manners possible. I do have 74 hours in the game, so I'm not brand new. But I'm not, like, the most knowledgeable human ever. I know the basics enough to get by. I know enough to get me into trouble. Like, for example, these wheels are apparently on upside down, but they work, so I didn't change them. Stuff like that. And these little waypoints you see everywhere, I've made those waypoints. Those are resources that we have found in the past that will allow us to go back and mine them. It's going to be a plane, but it's going to be more of a hovering aircraft. So this is our basic little base, just kind of with some regular armor blocks here. And this is a little connector that I built coming off the base that will allow me to back this thing up. Because inside of here, I have some raw ore that I need to transport into this base. So this connector, I connected it, and now if you look in the inventory, this stuff is going to slowly, if it's done right, maybe it won't. We're going to manually do this. We're going to shove some silicone in here. We're going to shove some stone in here. Basically, the orange stuff is the actual base's inventory, and the white stuff is the inventory of this little machine here. We'll bring some magnesium ore, and then we'll bring some ice that we'll just store in a cargo container for now, because we don't actually have an oxygen hydrogen generator that will allow us to change the ice into anything special. So this inventory, what I wanted to do next. Sorry, we're gonna be a little bit kind of like being distracted like a squirrel here. What my first goal was to take, we have this basic refinery right here, and what we want to do is actually create a regular refinery, because it will refine materials faster. Because if you look at it right now, if you look at our refinery, it's refining nickel, but it's taking it forever for each unit, right? I believe if we change what type of resource. Anyway, we're just gonna get a bigger refinery. This is the pod that we landed in. It has an oxygen generator on it, so I'm actually gonna put my hydrogen tank in there, and it will pull hydrogen out of that ice. We're actually out of ice, but we have a ton more. Anyway, let's get into it. So what I've done is I preemptively built all of the things needed to build. Once you get an assembler, you can actually, a regular assembler, you can actually go to large blocks and you can tell it to, for example, I wanted to make a refinery, and I got it to build all of the components necessary for this refinery, so that now I can just go in and pocket it all and everything's good. So let's actually find out what it takes to make our regular refinery. Not the basic one, but the regular one. We'll put it here, I guess. 5. Okay. This thing is freakishly huge. Oh my goodness. Okay, how is this gonna work? We have a connector on the left and the bottom. What I'm thinking is we'll put it in like this. It's freakishly huge now that I'm looking at it. This thing is terrifyingly big. Maybe I don't need it, but we're going to build it anyway. Are there any creatures or aliens you have to avoid? There can be. In the experimental branch, there are wolves that populate the Earth-like planets, and then these little spiders that come out of the ground that populate. There's one there too. Good. The alien-like planets. And then there are NPC pirates that can spawn, but I don't think I turned any of them on for the survival series. I think I was just trying to get used to the new building mechanics and everything. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go to my control panel and turn off, where is it? The basic refinery. That way, when I go to the inventory and start pulling all these ores out, I won't try to suck them back in. We're going to store everything into, let's see, into cargo containers. Because once I destroy this thing, everything that's inside of it's going to just like spill out on the floor. I don't want to do that. So we're just going to force everything into this cargo container that's attached to it, so that we're not stuck there. Let's actually shove all this into the assembler as well. This is all the refined materials. Okay, so now I can destroy that refinery without any issue whatsoever. Okay, let's tear it up. Just gonna put all of the components it took to build it into my pocket. Okay, now we're actually gonna have to destroy this one too. This connector, just because this thing that we're building is freakishly huge, so let's just do that. Okay, so what was it, 5? I believe that's it. I believe there's a connector coming off right here. We're gonna have to start building it and find out. But like, you see how it's like way bigger, so we're gonna actually have to put some blocks down, you know, to support it. At least make it. Oh, geez. I'm putting in angled pieces because I'm an idiot. Regular light armor block. There we go. We will rebuild this connector set up here in a second. As soon as we expand this and make it functional. I just want to build that in a straight line so I feel good about it. Okay, so now, to continue building this, we got to take our welder and our resources. I believe we're going to need a shiz ton of light iron plates. Or just light steel plates, what I mean. We're going to need 1,200 freaking plates, dude. The right side, of course, tells you what are all the stuff you need. I need more steel plates. Let's just grab those. I already know that we built all of them ahead of time. Let's see. Yeah, there they are. Oh, there's so many plates. Okay, we put more in there. Let's just keep grabbing the plates. Our inventory is only so big, so we can't hold all of them. Okay, so we have all the plates. Now we need large tubes, grids, and computers. Let's shove all this in there. So I need large tubes, computers, and grids. There we go. So now we're just going to hold mouse 1, build this bad boy slowly. And this boy's going to refine way faster than our old refinery. And that's going to take our raw ores that we have, and we have thousands and thousands of kilograms of it. Or kilos. I don't even know. You can hear that bad boy kick on. It's freaking huge. All right, let's look at this. All right, I assume it's going to suck. Yep, it just sucked all the iron in. And look how fast it's cooking through it. Okay, let's put all of the iron in there manually. It'll suck it all in. It's going to suck it in slowly. Let's actually have the magnesium done first. Oh, silicone. Never mind. We're gonna put the. It starts from the left, and then if it can't do it, it moves to the next one. Anyway, we're just gonna have it do that. All right, fantastic. So, what this means is we're now going to be able to actually create much more, many much mores. You heard me. Materials much faster. Now let's actually connect this by building some angled tubes here. These are all conveyors. These are what allow us to excuse me. Why can't you go straight down, my dude? Can you not? There we go. These allow it to transfer between. Do you see my issue here? It's not allowing me to. That's weird. It's really weird. I wonder if it's just positioned wrong. I'm gonna have to rebuild all this. There we go. That was really weird. Okay. We need more interior plates. That one actually functions though. And we need a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's just grab a whole bunch of these motors. More interior plate. Do I need to build more? No, there we go. That's done. And that's done. Okay, now this allows us to keep plugging in our... Yep, it's green, so that means everything's hooked up. Fantastic. Now, I want to build a ship that is fit for flying. Somehow we're going to do this. Alright, we're going to need steel plates. Probably some interior plates and some construction components. You have to have like the basic materials to be able to start building it, but then when you finish building it, just like how we did this, so I put the frame down, then we actually finished building it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into our little our blocks menu here. We're actually going to find landing gear. It's gonna be our first piece. Already got armor blocks. We're gonna need a battery, which we already have. We're gonna need a cockpit. And yes, I typed that in. We're gonna need thrusters. Now, unlocked, we currently have atmospheric thrusters and ion thrusters. Ion thrusters, in my very limited experience, is best for when you're in space, and it'll hold you in place pretty well. But atmospheric thrusters, we actually have an atmosphere because we're on an Earth-like planet, so the atmospheric thrusters are going to work very well. We're actually going to use a combination of the large and the small, I think. Maybe not the large. Look how freakishly huge that is. It's freaking huge. Because you can build some massive spaceships. Like, I could put it onto this platform and try to get this platform to fly. Maybe not. These are just your regular thrusters. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. So to start this bad boy off, we actually need to get the landing gear. Now, we don't want it to be a big landing gear, so we need to, like, to the little small landing gear, and then we're going to build it off the grid, but it will land on the grid like that. I don't like how it's not flat, though. It's angled. That's a little bit annoying. There we go. So we're going to build the ship off of this landing gear. Beauty. Alright, this ship is not going to be beautiful, but it's going to be functional. That's the entire point. Also, real quick, I'm going to grab a little bit of this ice. Yeah, that's enough. I'm going to shove it into this little ice machine here. This machine will... I already know that our hydrogen tank didn't get filled up all the way. So we shove some ice in there. There we go. Our hydrogen is what fuels our jetpack. And we're going to go fly and get that here in a minute. Okay. So let's just get a base of this thing locked and loaded. Again, functional, not beautiful. That's our plan here. Because we're building a small ship, we're going to be using these smaller blocks here. Let's just kind of get a base going. I don't know how long this thing's going to be. I don't know. So we may change this. But for now, I'm just going to build a base of 3 by 3 wide. Okay. Landing gear. This is the front. So let's build ourselves a cockpit on here, alright? That didn't work. I'll do it from the side anyway. Okay. Bam. There's your cockpit. Beauty. Behind the cockpit, we're going to put... I want to connect the cockpit. So we're actually going to do something a little bit funny. We're going to put... But I want to put the battery up behind the cockpit. So what we're going to do is we're going to... build ourselves... a little gap. That gap is going to allow us to put conveyors around to then connect to what we're going to be doing back here. Okay, now we need a cargo container. It's going to look like our rover, but with engine, but with freaking flight. And that's okay. Okay, we need a cargo container, just a medium one will do. Okay. Can of course flip it. Okay. Then we need a gyroscope and probably an ore detector on it for fun. So why don't we build a gyroscope? We'll shove it in this crevasse right here because we have actually a gap. So we'll put a gyroscope right there, and then we'll put an ore detector also in there. This will of course help us to locate ores that we may or may not need in the future. We're gonna lay it down though. Okay, so let's just get this built, and we'll go from here. Alright, let's get the base nice and solid. And yes, it's a freaking box, alright? If we like what we're seeing, we can... You know what? We gotta build this internal one first, because that one's a little bit not visible. Can I get under here and build the internal ones? I should have made this taller so I can get under it. Oops. That gyroscope's now floating. That's okay. So we need to build the interior ones first. That makes sense. Fantastic. Another problem we may end up having is that we're going to need power. And this battery, we could charge off of these boys, but we're going to have to get like a connector coming off something, and we'll figure that out when it's time. What other types of planets are there, Guybrush? There's an Earth-like planet, there's a Mars planet, there's the moon that you can go to. There's a planet referred to as an alien planet. It has an atmosphere, but it's not oxygen. Then there's a planet called Titan. I'm not exactly sure what that is. And then, of course, there are floating asteroids out in space that you can enjoy, hang out with, have a good time with. Okay, now that we have our boxy base, why don't we put our gyroscope back? Okay, we're gonna need tubes, computers, and of course bulletproof glass for this bad boy. Why don't we just produce a whole batch of this stuff? So let's get 50 bulletproof glass, and then there actually should be an inventory of a whole bunch of other stuff as well. 5 more displays, and then that'll be 30 of our glass right there. More displays, batch of glass. We can only carry so much, of course. It's technically functional. One more glass. Gosh, dang it! All right. We're gonna need a little bit more glass for lights too, but we'll get that when it's time. We'll put another leg on it. I mean, bare minimum, technically 1 leg is enough, but we'll add more to it, don't you worry. I need a detector component. Can I make a detector component? I don't actually know if I can. Oh my word, I can't. Oh, I can. Never mind. Oh, I got so scared. I didn't think I could do it. Because this progression system is a little bit, didn't I? Maybe it's too big for... We don't need that many computers. Give me that detector component. Dope. Okay, ore detector, done. Gyroscope. Done. Battery, we need 20 power cells. Where are those? Those will take a second to build. You are done. Okay, we need conveyors as well. I actually have... No, I don't. Conveyor. We need a small conveyor tube. We might build this guy into a miner at some point, or build a completely separate ship that is a mining vessel. Let us get ourselves a tube built to connect to this bad boy. Bam. Can't get to it. Okay, now battery. We need that. We're missing silicone? Yo, okay, this is when I go into the inventory and get silicone getting made. Put that up front. Yeah, look, it went through all that iron so quickly. Yeah, get that silicone getting made. There we go. Yeah, that'll get our bulletproof glass done and our power. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now we need to get thrusters down. So if we were to do what we need, okay. So this planet has gravity, right? 1G, one Earth. Thick lasers. I don't have any lasers, dude. I want lasers now. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a little bit of angle to this thing, so that it doesn't feel completely like a freaking box. I think there's a corner piece, isn't there? Light armor corner. Yeah. Check that out. We'll figure that out later. Anyway, and then we're gonna put blocks all through here as well. We're gonna cover all the internal components because we're not mean. Okay, we don't want all the components to be completely showing. So there's our battery that's gonna power everything. I am going to, however, shut this off so it doesn't use the battery, because it comes with a little bit of charge, but not enough to really get it going here. Give me a normal block, please. Thank you. I should angle that in a little bit. Is there a inverted corner? How does that work? A half block, a half slope? How does this work? What is this? What is this light armor inverted corner? Interesting. We'll do more with these in the future, but for now... Wait. Is this actually what we need? This might be actually what we need. There we go. Right? Yeah. Okay, we're having ourselves too good of a time here. So if we wanted to get a regular blocks on top of this thing too, just to like give a little bit of a box so that when we crash into a cliff that it doesn't actually kill us, you know? So that the armor will break and not the battery or the connector or the anything else for that matter. Let's get an angled piece going in here. That angled piece, we'll just go straight down into the cockpit so that there's... We should have gone forward one more. Ah, well, whatever. Now we're going to do it. It's going to be a tiny bit of hollow space in the middle, but that's okay. Can't build on that? That's weird. Give me just that regular block then. One more block, and then can we... Yeah, we can. What angle is this? There we go. And then regular block, plus. We'll put an angled piece in the middle. Make it a little bit curvy. We'll leave that poking out the side. This thing's gonna look ugly, I'll tell you that much. We're out of metal, I think. If I had to guess. Yeah, we're out of metal plates. That's beautiful. I freaking love it. This thing's gross. Alright, but it's beautiful to me, alright? Beauty is in the eye of the frickin' beholder. It's an RV, you're right, it's functional. RVs are meant to be functional. A half slope. I don't want a half slope, I just want a full slope. Starting here. And you could do that weird inverted corner thing. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to go tubular, baby. We're kind of angled. What if I was to do a corner and then an angle all the way up there too? Would that work? Just to give kind of some semblance of... That's not right. There we go. There you go. Make this thing look purty. And on purpose. Yeah. I'll put a quarter in there. Somehow. Apparently I don't have a slope in there. Nor in there. So then we'll do a corner. I do not want to spend this much time doing simple things like this, but we're doing. All right, we're done. We're done. No more. All right, let's build all these blocks. We're gonna cover a whole batch of them here in a minute. This thing's just gonna get uglier, alright? You guys just wait and see. I could turn this thing into the ugliest miner of all time. Not miner as in like, not an adult, but miner as in something that mines. Like, the ship doesn't look aerodynamic, but it'll function. Thank goodness aerodynamics isn't a part of this game. If it was, it would break my brain trying to figure out how to work things. Also, there's a way of painting the blocks. I actually don't know what it is, to be completely honest. Once this thing's done, though, it's going to be satisfying. You just wait. Alright, suit energy can be restored by going to this good old survival kit. Is that box? There's a computer. You plug into it. It gives you energy.